I had a realization last week that 10x'd both my productivity and my general mental well-being. If you want to find peace, you have to respect the natural rhythms of life. I know that sounds really vague and it's hard to explain, but I'm going to do my best. I used to have really bad anxiety, and one thing that really helped me get over it was realizing that awkwardness or just feeling out of place presented in my body very physically as some kind of tension. And through practicing things like yoga and martial arts and dance, things that made me become more aware of the muscles in my body and what I was doing with them, I was able to notice that tension and release it. And in doing so, the awkwardness slowly went away from my mind. And this really helped me because now when I was feeling socially awkward, instead of it just spiraling, I had a way of making it go away. And to this day, one of my greatest gifts is being able to remain at ease in almost any situation, even when everyone else is visibly uncomfortable and there's a lot of tension in the room. And I had a similar realization this last week, but it was about time. I've been feeling very uneasy and anxious about my time, how I spend my time, just very restless in my days. There's a poem by Tracy K. Smith called The Largeness That We Cannot See, and there's a stanza in it that I've always loved that says, "We move in and out of rooms, leaving our dust, our voices pooled on sills. We hurry from door to door in a downpour of days." The way that last line is split up has always seemed very clever to me, because when you first read it, you don't realize it's a metaphor. Instead, you get this very literal picture in your head of people running from door to door to try to get out of the rain. The rain is not something to escape, it's simply our life. But it's also so accurate because so few of us are just happy being in the present. Either we are longing for a past that is gone, or we are hurrying to get to a future that isn't here yet. And sometimes we're mad at ourselves because we're not making that future come to us quickly enough. In the past few months, I've been basically putting my whole life on hold until a certain future came to pass. And theoretically, during this time, I had more free time. It's been beautiful weather. I should have been happy. I was miserable because I felt like I was wasting my life. Everything else was on hold, and the thing I was waiting for wasn't coming quickly enough. I find I work best when there are long stretches of time when I only have one priority. It simplifies life in a way that really helps me. So trying to do 3 things at once almost never works. I just end up doing the thing that interests me the most or stresses me out the least, and the other 2 just go by the wayside. So for the past year, every time I felt like I really had to get something done, I would put everything else on hold, and that made me feel even more stressed and even more guilty. There was just so much disharmony, and I'm realizing now all of this negative feeling feels very literally like a rhythm being messed up. Like there is a natural rhythm by which things work best, and you simply have to accept it and let it happen. For example, waiting doesn't have to be unpleasant. It can simply be an opportunity to rest. And if I want to focus on just one thing at a time for extended periods of time, I can do that. I can spend 2 days where I let myself think about nothing but content creation, then another 2 days where I let myself think about nothing but indie hacking, and yet another 3 days where I just do cold outreach and network. But to be clear, the revelation is not the time management strategy. I could have totally thought of this before, but I wouldn't have been able to do it because I would have been constantly stressed as I was doing one thing that I wasn't working on the other thing. The difference is now I can allow the future to come to me at its own leisurely pace and trust that it will. I don't expect anyone to watch this video and walk away a different person, but I've learned to feel when something I am thinking or feeling is disrupting the natural rhythm of life. Weirdly enough, the cyclical living system has become kind of an ADHD hack for me because it artificially introduces the last minute pressure that used to be the only guarantee that I would stop procrastinating and actually work hard at something. Like now I have 2 days where my only job is to finish a week's worth of content and writing, so I just do it. And there were months in which this was all I was doing, and it used to take me a week to do the same amount of work, and I'm not even stressed. Getting stuff done feels good. I don't know.